Hello friends! So a little while ago I made a Lolita wardrobe tour video. Well, I've made a couple now. The last one that I made was not too personal because I wanted to include every single dress that I owned, which is a lot, so there wasn't a lot of room for me to be chatty and talk with you about it. I was just like boom, 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 show every single dress. Also, that video was sponsored, so I had a deadline that I was really rushing to get to, so I didn't get to film as much as I wanted to for it. This video that you're watching now was not originally sponsored, but then got sponsored. Woo! The following is a little commercial break. Hey, what did you ask for Christmas?
J'habite à Montréal. J'ai demandé des cadeaux au magasin au boudoir d'Alice. Qu'avez-vous demandé?
My family doesn't understand Lolita, and I don't live in Montreal, so I asked for money.
Vous pouvez utiliser cet argent pour commander chez au boudoir d'Alice maintenant. Leur site web est maintenant en ligne maintenant.
What, really? I didn't know that. I'm so excited. Wow, it looks like there's a sale for 15% off all items until December 26th online. Did you know about this?
Oui, je sais tout.
Hey, your French doesn't seem very good.
Ma mère est Google Translate et mon père est une tomate.
Then how come you're a bear?
Quoi?
Is Google Translate a bear?
Ne pas insulter ma mère.
Well, I have a lot of shopping to do now, so bye! And then the other day, Holly and I were talking and I was telling her some stories about a couple of my dresses, and she was like, hey, that's an interesting video idea. Like, also, Tyler Willis filmed her Lolita wardrobe video in this style where she didn't show every single one of her dresses, but instead a few of her favorites and just shared stories along the way, so I wanted to do that today. If you have watched my previous wardrobe tours, you may have heard some of these stories before, because I can't remember exactly which ones I've told. I know that I've told these stories a lot, like at conventions and in person to people, but I'm not sure how much of it I've said on video. So yeah, some of this might be repeat information, but I don't know, thought it'd be fun. I hope you enjoy it. This is my Lolita wardrobe. It is on an IKEA unit shelf thing. It may look the same to you, but I'm actually in a different room than my previous videos with this rack. Holly lives with me now, so we moved into a bigger room, and I'm so thankful to my friend Ishkan who helped me put this rack in place because it was so difficult. Our walls are concrete. I needed a more powerful drill and he had one, and there needed to be like anchors in the wall in order to put this up, and it was a whole endeavor. So a lot of people message me about this and they're like, where do I get that? If you get it, just be warned and be ready. And different walls too, sometimes they have to be on a stud. Just do your research, find a friend with a lot of tools and know-how. Also about Holly and I living together, I do want to make a room tour, apartment tour at some point, but we're still painting and getting furniture. So I think that sometime in the new year, we will try and do that. Yeah, so let's get into it. Starting with this dress, there's a bolero backwards on it. A lot of the time I organize my closet with like pieces that I would wear with it or pieces that I haven't worn with it, and I just put them together to see if I would like how it looks and to kind of combine space. This is Meta's telephone telephone JSK, and this skirt, I'm not sure what you would qualify this. I think it's the JSK, so I'll just refer to it as the dress. This is one of the first things that I ever saw online and didn't know that it was Lolita. This skirt, dress, JSK, is made of denim, and I saw it on somebody without a source, and I didn't know who they were or what they were wearing. I just loved it. This was around 2006, 2007. And then I later found out that it was Bisou, who was a prolific Lolita blogger back in the day. There are like little bows missing from this, but it took me so long to find this dress. I just continued to keep looking through it through the years. I don't think I got it until 2016, and I fell in love with it in 2006. The designer of this print is Kuniko Kato, and I got to meet her at G Anime last year, and she's such a cool person. She now has a line called Physical Drop. She's no longer with Meta, and she told me stories about Punk Kuma and Rabe, which are the characters that she designed for this. And after meeting her, I love it even more, and I'm so happy that I got to meet her because her design is really what got me interested in Lolita. I was going to kind of go through order from here, but I'm going to jump to Twinkle Mermaid right now. Twinkle Mermaid I saw around the same time as Telephone JSK, and I also did not know what this was. I saw it online. I believe I saw it in a picture of like a group of Lolitas, and one of them was wearing this. And I just fell in love with the print. I don't think this was ever re-released, and I love it so much. The artwork on it is by Kira Imai, who's one of my favorite artists. I just love everything that she makes. With the telephone skirt, I was kind of like, oh, this is just fashion. I thought it was like some kind of German fashion. I literally had no idea. But when I saw this, I was like, what is this? Okay, this is a thing. This has to be a style, because it was a group picture of Lolitas that I saw wearing it. I was like, what are they wearing? Who are they? Where can I get this? This was, again, in 2006. And then a friend of mine was interested in Lolita. She had some pieces from Meta, some pieces from Bodyline, a lot of her stuff that she'd made. She didn't have anything from Angelic Pretty. And this friend, she wasn't really interested in Angelic Pretty, but she taught me everything there was to know about Lolita. She showed me Kamikaze Girls, she introduced me to everything, and these two pieces were like my gateway into Lolita. I also didn't get this for a very long time. At one point I just kind of broke down and posted everywhere on every social platform that I had, being like, can someone help me find this dress? It's still one of my favorite dresses. I love it so much. Another interesting thing is that there's like deco pieces on it, and I got this dress discounted because there was these like decorative pieces on it, and the seller said that the previous owner had added them to it, but I really like them. And then it's weird because I've seen other people with this dress with the same kind of decorative pieces, so I think that in the early 2000s that was kind of a fad, was to add sew-on pieces to your dress to overly kind of deco them. So I'm not sure like how the print originally came. So I'm really interested if you own this dress. Like, I'm kind of interested to see the differences in the print with these extra pieces on it. This dress is special to me because I got it at the Osaka Closet Child for I think $38 US, because I had spent a lot of money at other Closet Childs and built up my stamp card, but this was also on sale. So with the sale and with my stamp card, it came out to be only $38. And it's Meta, and there's just bears all over it, and it's so over the top and extra and cute. I do wish that like this piece here, this like frilly piece, came off. I've seen other dresses with this kind of style where it kind of unbuttons and comes off, but $38, like what are you gonna do? I used to have my wardrobe organized by color, but I haven't done that since building this new rack. Well, rebuilding the rack. Also, you may notice that for someone who's been into Lolita fashion for over 10 years, my wardrobe's kind of small. Like, it's not tiny by any means. I do have a lot, and I'm very thankful, but if you compare it to a lot of other Lolitas who have been in the fashion as long as me, a lot of them have like rooms full of Lolita. Even though I admit I am a frivolous person, I'm very practical in what I hold on to. I really want to just keep out with the old, in with the new, keep cycling it and circling, so that all the pieces that I have are pieces that I frequently wear and can also wear in multiple different ways. This is also a big part of what helps me afford Lolita, is that when I first got into it, I did that initial investment of just kind of buying whatever I could get a hold of, and then through the years searching for the pieces that I really wanted and selling off the pieces that I bought in order to afford the pieces that I really wanted. And it's somewhat a little bit of a self-sustaining economy, because I can kind of justify buying new pieces if I sell off a different piece. That's just how my mind works. It's also a detriment to me though, because I do look back and say, oh, I wish I hadn't sold that dress, or this specific meetup would be perfect for this specific dress which I sold 2 years ago. This dress is really important to me because my roommate / best friend Chris bought it for me for Christmas. It's my first Alice and the Pirates piece. I just really wanted an Alice and the Pirates piece, and he was at a meetup and said, hey, there's one that's like pretty affordable. I can get it for you if you want, and I love it. I'll never sell this dress. The dresses that I'm skipping over are ones that I'm just kind of like, oh, I really liked it and I bought it. The end. I don't wear this skirt often enough. I don't really wear Lolita skirts. This was my friend Bridget's skirt, and I bought it off of her for a great deal, and it makes me happy because I think of her when I wear it, And sometimes I wear it in like a less Lolita silhouette and kind of more casual, and I need to keep wearing it because it's really cute. This dress is Little Bears Cafe, and I have loved this dress forever, except there's squirrels on it. The bears are so cute, but I made a promise to myself a long time ago that I wouldn't buy any dresses with squirrels on them because I was bitten by a squirrel when I was small, so I just told myself that I would never buy anything with squirrels because I don't like squirrels. I don't know why there's a squirrel in this print anyways. It's called Little Bears Cafe. I do love this print. I love all the bears on it. They're so cute. A follower of mine named Cassidy was moving and she was trying to sell this dress and not having any luck. And she had to leave like a weekend after I saw her, and she just couldn't bring it with her to move. She didn't want to wait to sell it, so she offered to just give it to me as like a thank you, and was so sweet. And she also gave Angelina a skirt that made me just love this print even more. I was so grateful. She just wanted to see it have a good home, so she gave it to me, and I love it, and I'm so thankful. I just tell myself that the squirrels are like hamsters or mice, but in like a squirrel cosplay. This isn't Lolita by definition. This is a Coco Kim dress, which is Kimura Yu's old brand. Her new brand is called Kawaii-holic. And I bought this dress on my last day in LA before I moved to Toronto. I got it from a store that sold like Visual K stuff and then also some kawaii fashion. It was not Fairy Tale Boutique. It was in the same mall area as Fairy Tale, but it was long after Fairy Tale had closed. This store that I got it from is now closed, which makes me really sad because it was such a cool shop, and it was one of the few places in like the States, I believe, or at least in California, that had Visual K stuff. This isn't Visual K either, but just the store was really cool. And it means a lot to me because it's sort of the end of an era of me hanging out in Little Tokyo every single weekend. There's also this Kawaii Goods dress, which isn't really Lolita, but I put it here because it's pastel and cute. And Kawaii Goods is really important to me because the owner of Kawaii Goods was the first Lolita I ever met in person, besides my friend of high school. She got me involved with like more Lolitas and more events. I met her at a convention. That really helped me find like my people. So I love her company. I've always loved her brand, and she's always been such a good supportive friend to me. This is Star Night Theater. I don't really have a special story except that I just love Star Night Theater a lot. It was my dream dress for a long time, and I tried really hard to find it. Also, it's one of the shortest dresses that I own by Angelic Pretty, so if you're a tall Lolita and you're interested in Star Night Theater, read the measurements closely and maybe think about getting an underskirt with it because it is very, very short.
Oh, honey cake! Honey cake! Honey cake! Honey cake!
This is Honey Cake by Angelic Pretty, and this dress has so much meaning to me. When I first went to the Angelic Pretty store in San Francisco, it was during the release of Honey Cake. I was still really figuring out what I was doing in Lolita, and I wore mostly just pastels, and this print is not pastel, it's more like primary. So when I was there, I got a bunch of stuff on sale that was more like sugary sweet, and like I don't own any of that stuff anymore, and I wish that I had just got more from this line because I saw the bag in person. The bag was there. I saw it. I was in the shop with it. And of course, this print has not been re-released since then, and that bag is so hard to get. So I didn't get this set when I went then. I got it much later, but I definitely paid a lot more than it was in the store originally new, which at the time I thought was so expensive, but then I spent even more on this one. Another funny story about this is that I was wearing it at San Diego Comic-Con. A woman came up to me who didn't know anything about Lolita, she wasn't familiar with this print, she didn't know Angelic Pretty, and she asked me what it was and where she could buy it. So I explained to her what it was, and then I explained that you can't just go out and buy it like it's not currently for sale, it was part of a limited release. Then she proceeded to offer me money on the spot to sell it to her while I was wearing it. And again, this is somebody who doesn't know anything about Lolita. It's just, and it was also the last day of Comic-Con, and it was while the exhibit hall was closing, and I was trying to find somebody in the exhibit hall before it closed. Kept telling her, like, no, I'm not gonna sell you this dress, like, I'm not. And she was like trying to give me her information in case I would sell it to her later, and I'm like, listen, you don't even know how much this is gonna be. I'm sure you're not expecting to pay a couple $100 for this dress. Did whatever I could to make her, like, leave me alone. And probably took her information and then just left. This is Harlequinade. I love this print so much. This is not my dress. This is my friend Jess's dress. She let me borrow it because she just wasn't wearing it and she didn't foresee herself wearing it for a while. So she's like, hey, do you want to borrow it? And I've had it for quite a few months. Jess, do you want your dress back? I wore it to OniCon to meet Tyler because Jess is the one who introduced me to Tyler, and I thought that it would be nice to, like, wear her dress to meet her. My last story is about this blouse, not this dress. This dress, I just really liked it and bought it. It's a baby dress. It has, like, a lot of frills, and I really want more dresses that have less prints and, like, more just... But anyways, the point of this is the blouse is actually Angelic Pretty. It's like a princess sleeve blouse. This dress, which is Magic Princess, when I went to the Angelic Pretty store again, right before I moved to Toronto, this dress was there for sale and that blouse, and I couldn't afford both of them. The cool thing is that I was in San Francisco for a Lolita meetup for the community there, and I'm so grateful they brought me out for this event. They made me, like, their guest. It was an amazing time. I have a video all about it. If you haven't seen it, please watch it because their community is so loving. When I went on the day before the meet and saw this at the shop, and the funny thing is that my parents were actually coming to San Francisco on, like, a vacation with my sister. I told the Lolita organizers, hey, don't worry about my flight back, like, I will actually extend this trip and go stay with my family and then go back with my family. It was just so cool that they were there the same week. So I saw this dress, saw that blouse, and at the time I could only afford one of them. I went with my family, and my mom was so sweet, and she saw how happy I was, and she saw, like, she was commenting on how beautiful this dress was and, like, how useful the blouse was. And so she said, I'll get you one of them and then you can pay me back over time. So I was able to get them both then and there, and then I just paid her back. But I was so grateful that she did that. Otherwise I would have had to, you know, wait and find it secondhand and pay for shipping and all of that. And it was just a cool experience to buy both of those pieces from the shop while I was there. I think that about covers my Lolita wardrobe, at least my dresses and different stories. I don't know, I have a lot of accessories and a lot of bags and stuff, so I'm not going to include that all in this video since it was just basically a dress story time. If you want to see more videos of my Lolita collections, of my Lolita pieces, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if anyone has ever tried to buy a Lolita dress off of you while you were wearing it. I'm curious if I'm the only one. And also, what dress was it? Also, please let me know your ultimate dream dress and whether you have obtained it or whether you're working to obtain it, because who knows, somebody in the comments might be able to find it for you. As always, stay lovely!